Hey there, everyone. How are you doing? So, I was checking out some of the statistics and metrics that YouTube puts out, and frankly, I don't understand any of them. But I did see one of the things say that people are coming to my channel because they're searching for rentals to wealth. Not sure why they're finding my channel because of that, but I'm glad they are. We talk about one rental at a time. We've talked about how rental properties have produced, seven-figure net worths, eight-figure portfolios. So I wanted to welcome them, but I saw that and I'm like, you know what? I should create a video called Rentals to Wealth. So I've spent the last several hours putting together a quick presentation, kind of with what I believe are some facts about rental properties and wealth. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share that with you. And again, thank you for finding this channel. It is always appreciated. And when I find, things that you guys are coming to, I will create stuff because I do this for you after all. So here we go. So here's the presentation. What is it? 15 slides, including the intro. So again, rentals to wealth was what was in YouTube. So I said, hey, why don't we create a title for that? But let's be clear what that means. We're talking about building 7- and 8-figure portfolios, 7- and 8-figure net worths. Obviously, a portfolio is here, net worth is here. But I believe over time and everything we are about to go through is rentals to wealth. So let's get started. First and foremost, we are talking about wealth, not income. So wealth, as it relates to rental properties, comes from ownership over time. Generally speaking, the longer you own a rental, the more it will appreciate. If you're in a slowly appreciating market, it's 1%, 2%, 3% a year. If you're in a volatile market like I am, you may have some years of 10, 12, 15% has not been abnormal. You will also get mortgage pay down, right? Mortgage pay down, maybe it starts off with, 10% of the mortgage payment is, kind of equity builds up, but the longer you own it, the more of that property you will pay off. So true wealth from rentals comes from long-term ownership. So let's never forget that. One thing I do want to make clear, one rental at a time. It's a simple strategy. It works, right? It's the name of my book. It's the name of my course. It is what I believe, but it is simple in elegance, but it takes sacrifice, consistency, and really daily efforts. What I teach my students to do is you need to find 15 or 20 minutes a day to look at your market. I've said it many times and we'll say it again. I had a crazy day just like all of you, working 8 to 15 hours a day. I could be on 2 different airplanes a day, helping raise a daughter. So I understand. But today with smartphones and wireless connections, you should be able to find 20 minutes a day, maybe while you're eating, doing other things, and be able to research your market. So again, once you build up the skill that I teach, you should be able to do it in 20 minutes a day. And if you need some help, I do have a 75-day hard challenge and playlist you should take a look at. Everything in the playlist, all 8 challenges or tasks are free. There's nothing other than time. So if you have absolutely no money, I would take that challenge just to get started. Another thing that I believe, again, I don't like using sports analogies because it is not for everyone. But this is, until I have a better analogy, I don't know what better one to use. In baseball, the last hitter to hit 400 was Ted Williams. And he is famous for saying, the strike zone is this big and I will only swing at a portion of the strike zone. And that's what I want you to do with real estate. That's what I teach. Right? There may be thousands of listings in your market. Most of them are bad or average. What I want you to do is only do good or great deals. You only have to say yes once or twice a year to build true wealth. There are hundreds or thousands of properties listed every day. You don't have to say yes to all of them. You got to get good at finding the good or great deals. And if you need help, look below. I have a course. More importantly, take a look at what the other students are saying, because it warms my heart to hear what other students are saying and seeing how it changes it. And there's a playlist on this channel just for that. Again, YouTube University, lots of people flexing, you know, talking about flipping and wholesaling. That's income, people. Let's not confuse income from wealth. Wealth is what Olivia and I have done, right? We have enough income coming in passively, or at least semi-passively, that covers our living expenses. And we've been doing it for almost 3 years now. That's wealth. Wholesaling and flipping is income, likely has marketing and overhead expenses. We don't have any of that. Again, you can do your day job, bust your butt during the day, learn the skills that I teach, use 20 minutes a day, and you too could be on your path to building true wealth. It takes effort and consistency, but you can do it. It's not hard. One thing that is not missed on me, I'm extremely honest all the time. I invest in California. I invested pre and post the last crash, and it was very helpful to our net worth. We were able to ride the wave up. We saw overvalue coming. We got out of the way. It crashed. We found a way to keep buying. It came back. We got out of apartments, right? So if you're in a market that is bubbly and crashes, if you learn your market, you can dance through the raindrops. If you're in a market that's kind of flat or flat like that, or maybe like that, it's okay. You don't have to be in a crazy market because it's stressful as all get out. But just know that if you are in one of these markets that goes like this, you can use those highs and lows to your advantage. And if you want to hear that story, go to Amazon, buy the book. If you have bought the book, I need some more Amazon reviews. I did think we got 2 or 3 in the last couple of days, which thank you, thank you, thank you. But we sold thousands of copies of this now. And I'd love to get more than 216 reviews. So if you can help me out, thank you, thank you, thank you. One more thing I want to make very clear. When you get into rentals, the first 5 to 8 years, depending on how many you buy, you're not going to feel like it's moving the needle, right? The cash flow, $100, $150. I mean, the first couple of years, you know, you're one water heater away from negative cash flow. But as you build and you do good or great deals and you get the second and the third and the fourth and the ninth, the wave, the foundation gets bigger and appreciation and mortgage pay down, and this tsunami builds, and then it gets fun. I remember sitting down after 5 years going, what the heck? What are we doing? But if you hold on, again, wealth comes from time. And we've been doing this now almost 20 years. It'll come, but you got to be able to get through those first 5 to 8 years. Man, if you're going to be a landlord and you're going to own property, bad stuff happens. You can read our story about our first rental. I've told a story about what I call the hammer story before, where a tenant went nuts with a hammer on our drywall. We've had fires. We've had tenants evictions and lie to us and theft. And we had a car one time run into one of our units. Bad stuff happens. Be ready for it. Don't let it ruin your day or your week or your month. Be insured, be covered, do the right thing. But I wish I could tell you differently, but bad stuff will happen and you need to be ready for it. Great stuff happens too. Don't get me wrong, but there will be bad days. Here's the deal. It's fun to talk about appreciation. It's fun to talk about value creation. It's fun to talk about buying at a discount. I don't care. I want you to do deals based on yield or cash flow. Appreciation happens, buying at a discount happens, but don't use that to justify decisions. Because I've invested in a down market, and man, equity goes away quickly. And you don't want to get caught in a bad deal, what I call an alligator. Yeah, alligators are rough. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to read the story in our book, because I created that image just for you, because negative cash flow was not enough. Where's that? Where? Look, oh, look at that. I found the picture. Page 18. Look at that. No alligators. I got to remember that. It's on page 18. All right. Comparing properties. When you are learning your market, 20 minutes a day, remember, you need to have whatever metric you want to use to compare properties so that you can weed out the bad and the average from the good and the great. I teach, I preach yield or cash on cash. I want to know, hey, if this 500 square foot house, how does it compare to this 20 unit of building? And I use those two specifically because I have bought both. I don't talk about things I haven't done. If the 500 square foot, 1 bedroom, 1 bath house yields more than the apartment, I will buy the house every time. If the 20 unit apartment building yields more than the house, I will buy the 20 unit apartment every time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I go through the excruciating detail of the spreadsheet, every field, every record. I tell you how to use it. And if you don't want to use yield, totally okay. Find your metric. This is just what I use. I use yield because I want to know how hard my cash is working. Here's the big deal, right? Big unit count means nothing without real positive cash flow. I did a video 2 or 3 days ago talking about our history with a 5 unit apartment building. And after it boils down to 15 years of ownership, we have made $60 a month per door. That's, I don't know, good or great. I get good, bad, indifferent. It's just the facts. Realize that it's real cash flow you were going after, not some Excel-based cash flow. Shoot, if you can own a house and have more cash flow than a 10 unit building, buy the house. Some people get enamored by saying, I own 100, 200, 500, 1,000 units. It means nothing. Tell me about your net cash flow. Here's one that really gets me in trouble, because most of the time, if there's an up market, people are mad at me because I'm be conservative, put more down. Well, here's the deal. High leverage feels great in an up market. But boy, if it gets bad or turns negative, high leverage could snuff out your flame and kick you out of the game for years to come. Don't let that happen. When in doubt, put an extra 5% down, in my opinion. Here's one for you. Again, rentals to wealth. If you're doing rentals to wealth, at least how I did, how I explained in one rental at a time, keep your day job. Be the very best you can at your day job. 95% of my effort went to being the best I could be at my day job. But I did take that extra 5% and watch my market, learn my market, take 20, 30, 40 minutes a day, find that next good or great deal. Never stop learning your market. Learning a market is a skill. It's like a golf swing. It feels uncomfortable, abnormal, different. But once you get good at it, it really feels like something you could do over and over. And I'm telling you about learning your market because if you want to change your market in 5 or 6 years, great. I already told you how to do it. Just do it again. So again, I am not here. Rentals to wealth breaks down if you quit your job too early, because banks want to lend to you when you have a job, not when you're self-employed. Never, ever stop watching your market. I have talked to people who follow my course. They do the work, they buy their first rental, and then they don't look at their market for 6 or 9 months. That's bad. How do you know what happened in 6 to 9 months? You need to look at your market, even if you have no money. In fact, I did a cautionary public service announcement today telling you to look at your market the next 6 months because it's kind of wonky. And yes, wonky is a technical term. I don't know. I just made it up. Wonky. Yeah, it's the market supply, demand, forbearance, low mortgage rates, owner occupants coming in. You got to watch it. Please, please, please learn your market. Finally, remember rentals can lead to a 7 or 8 figure portfolio, but you must learn your market. That's what I teach. That's what I preach. That's what I say the most. So again, thank you for finding this channel, Rentals to Wealth. I'm going to make sure that's the title of this video so you have something to see when you come here. If you haven't got the book yet, go get it. It tells our 15-year journey of rentals to wealth. If you've gotten the book, do me a favor, 15, 20 seconds, go leave a 5-star review. Just call it a great book. I'd love to see that someday get over 300 reviews. That would be quite an honor. All right, everybody, take care.